In the early 1800s, deep in the quiet woods of Adams, Tennessee, there lived a family who believed their home was safe. But one night, that peace was shattered by something invisible, something cruel, something that knew their names. At first, it was only a whisper in the dark. Then came the scratching, then the pounding, and soon the Bell family would learn that whatever had entered their home was not just a ghost. It was intelligent, it was hateful, and it seemed to want only one thing: to destroy them. The Bell family lived on a farm near Red River in Adams, Tennessee. John Bell was a respected man, known in the community as hardworking and dependable. His wife, Lucy, managed the home and cared for their children. Life was simple, shaped by the land, the seasons, and the long silence of the countryside. But in homes like this, silence can become dangerous, because when the wind stopped moving through the trees and the night settled over the fields, the family began hearing sounds that did not belong to nature, a tapping at the walls, a faint knocking under the floorboards, and sometimes a voice just beyond the reach of understanding. At first, the family tried to explain away the disturbances: a loose shutter, a branch against the wall, the house settling in the night. But the sounds became too precise. They came at strange hours. They followed the family from one room to another, and then the thing began speaking. It did not sound human. It sounded sharp, mocking, and filled with a strange intelligence. It answered questions. It repeated prayers. And worse than that, it seemed to know private things no stranger could possibly know. The Bell family was no longer living in a house. They were living inside a nightmare that was learning how to talk. Soon, the family and neighbors began calling the presence the Bell Witch. No one ever saw it clearly, but they heard it. It could mimic voices. It could whisper from the corners of rooms. Sometimes it sounded like an old woman. Sometimes it sounded like a child. And at other times, it was something entirely different, something that seemed to enjoy fear itself. The entity tormented John Bell especially. It insulted him. It laughed at his pain. And when he tried to pray, the voice would respond with mockery. The Bell Witch did not simply haunt the house. It hunted the family's peace. As the months passed, the haunting became physical. The children complained of being pinched, scratched, and dragged by unseen hands. Objects flew across rooms without warning. Beds shook in the middle of the night. And sometimes the voice would laugh for long stretches, as though it were enjoying the panic it created. The Bell Witch seemed to feed on dread. No corner of the home felt safe. No prayer felt strong enough. And every night the family waited for the next attack, knowing sleep would only invite more suffering. What began as a strange haunting had become an ongoing assault. Over time, John Bell's health began to fail. He grew weaker. His voice became fragile. And the family could not shake the feeling that the entity was somehow connected to his decline. The Bell Witch was not satisfied with fear alone. It seemed determined to break him completely. It mocked his suffering. It spoke of his weakness. And it announced, again and again, that his time was running out. The house had become a place where every whispered word felt like a warning. The Bell Witch was especially cruel because it was personal. It insulted family members by name. It predicted events before they happened. It seemed to understand their fears and use them against them. At times, it would sound almost amused, as if the family's suffering were entertainment. At other times, it became vicious, shouting, cursing, and causing chaos in the dead of night. The neighbors who visited the Bell home left shaken. Some heard the voice for themselves. Some saw objects move. And some walked away believing they had stepped into a place where the laws of the world no longer applied. As rumors spread, People from nearby areas came to witness the haunting for themselves. Some wanted proof. Some wanted entertainment. Others came out of fear, hoping to understand what kind of force could torment an entire family. What they encountered only deepened the mystery. The voice answered questions with disturbing accuracy. It seemed to recognize newcomers instantly. It laughed at disbelief. And when someone attempted to challenge it, the presence responded with a rage that chilled everyone in the room. There was no comforting explanation, only the growing certainty that something unnatural lived with the Bells. By the end, the Bell family was exhausted. Fear had worn away their peace. Suffering had worn away their strength. And John Bell, once a respected and healthy man, had become a shadow of himself. Then came the most chilling part of the story. The Bell Witch reportedly announced that John Bell would not live much longer. Not as a threat, not as a rumor, but as a promise. And soon after, John Bell was found dead. Even after his death, the nightmare did not feel finished. John Bell's death did not bring peace. In fact, the legend only grew stronger. People told stories of the Bell Witch for generations. Some claimed the spirit was tied to the land itself. Others believed it was a curse, born from anger, revenge, or something even darker. The Bell family home became one of the most feared places in Tennessee history. And even now, people still speak of strange noises, cold spots, and a lingering sense that something is watching. The Bell Witch became more than a haunting. It became a warning. Some stories are remembered because they are tragic, some because they are strange. But the story of the Bell Witch survives because it feels too persistent to dismiss. A family was frightened in their own home. A voice answered from the dark. And a quiet farmhouse in Tennessee became one of America's most unsettling legends. And if the Bell Witch was real, then the most terrifying part is simple. It may never have left.